In the quiet town of Sebree, Kentucky, a church's tranquility was shattered in a way no one could have ever anticipated. The walls of St. Michael's Catholic Church, usually echoing with prayers and hymns, bore witness to an unholy intrusion.
A Western Kentucky man faces charges for walking into a church in his underwear and strangling a priest.
A Western Kentucky man faces charges for walking into a church in his underwear and strangling a priest.
This happened at St. Michael's Catholic Church in the small town of Sebree in Webster County. It's about 40 minutes southwest of Owensboro.
Steven Sargent, a 35-year-old local man, disrupted the sanctity of the holy place in a manner most shocking. He wore nothing but his underwear and a t-shirt, an oddity that would soon be overshadowed by his actions. As Father Carmelo, the priest, was immersed in conducting the service, a chilling disruption rattled the peace.
Police say last weekend, Steven Sargent walked into the church right before the service started, wearing only a t-shirt and underwear. An arrest report says Sargent was yelling before he hit the priest in the chest and put his hands around the priest's neck.
Sargent started yelling disrespectfully about religion, shattering the calm with his harsh words. But the horror didn't stop there. To the congregation's disbelief, the verbal assault escalated into a physical one. Without warning, Sargent lunged at the priest. The priest, known only as Father Carmelo, was left gasping for breath as the man's hands closed around his neck.
Members of the church eventually detained Sargent until police arrived.
The once peaceful church was now a scene of chaos and fear, with the echoes of the unholy intrusion ringing in the air. Amid the chaos, the congregation mustered the courage to intervene. The sanctuary, once a place of peace, was now a battlefield. The faithful turned warriors, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and resolve. 3 men rose from their pews, fueled by a force greater than fear. They moved towards the danger, towards Steven Sargent. This wasn't just a man in his underwear causing a scene. This was a man under the influence, a man who had lost control. His actions were unpredictable, his intentions unclear. But the trio didn't falter. They managed to restrain him, their hands shaking but their grip steady. They held the assailant down, their bodies the only barrier between him and the priest he sought to harm. Amid the struggle, a shocking confession slipped from Sargent's lips. He had smoked meth only 15 minutes before storming the church.
Police say Sargent admitted to smoking meth about 15 minutes before walking into the church. Investigators say Sargent told them that he had a meth lab at his house, but when KSP went there, they didn't find anything. Sargent is now facing several charges.
But the horror didn't stop there. Sargent painted a chilling picture of an active meth lab in his home, a ticking time bomb with his wife and child inside. The congregation's fight was not just against the man before them, but also against the unseen danger lurking in Sargent's home. The danger, it seemed, was far from over. In the wake of this horrifying incident, a community and a church were left reeling. The man who had shattered the sanctity of their place of worship, Steven Sargent, was swiftly apprehended by local deputies. His arrest citation was a laundry list of abhorrent charges: first-degree strangulation, fourth-degree assault, first-degree disorderly conduct, and false reporting of an incident to law enforcement. Sargent's actions were a gut-wrenching violation, but the damage ran deeper than physical harm. Father Carmelo, the priest who bore the brunt of Sargent's attack, was profoundly shaken. His thoughts, however, were not for himself, but for the children who had witnessed the terrifying ordeal. With a heavy heart, he voiced his concern for their well-being. The bishop of the Diocese of Owensboro echoed Father Carmelo's sentiments. Their primary concern was the psychological impact this incident could have on the young minds present that day. In their time of distress, they called upon the community and beyond for prayers, not just for themselves, but for everyone involved. A plea for healing and strength in the face of adversity. In the face of such horror, the congregation was left with a chilling reminder of the brutality that had unfolded within their sacred space.
The priest was not seriously hurt.